2019, when it comes to movies and TV show, I'd say it was pretty good. We got really good movies and we got really good TV shows this year. But when it comes to games, just what fucking happened? This year was so disappointing. Like massively disappointing. I don't know, just wow. In 2017, we got Persona 5, Nier Automata, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Resident Evil 7, and Fortnite. 2018, we got Red Dead Redemption, we got God of War, we got Spider-Man, and so many other good games. But in 2019, it was just such a disappointing year. Like, it started off so good with Resident Evil 2, but it just kind of went downhill from there. Like, we got Kingdom Hearts. We got all these shitty looter shooters like Division, Ghost Recon, Anthem, and just so much other garbage. Jump Force. So much trash and just mediocreness. Anyways, welcome to the top 10. No, it's not gonna be a top 10 this year. I decided to do a little change this time around. Like with my movies of the year and TV shows, it's so, movies and TV, so much stuff. So I just kind of do like a categories, from like 1 out of 10 to 10 out of 10s. And this last year I started out with the best to the worst. This year I'm gonna do the best movies and TV to the worst to the best. And same with games, I'm going to do a reverse. I'm going to start with the best and just get lower. So it's going to be like just the opposite. And we're going to start off with the best game. In my opinion, this list is not like a professional made list or something, or gathered from like resources or reviews. This is just my personal opinion. These are just games that I played. I played a total of 19 games this year. And if there's a game that you think should have been on this list, I'm sorry, I just didn't play it. I've heard the game Outer Wilds is pretty good, but sadly I didn't play it. I wish I had. I don't really usually go for the indie games, so that's probably why this year was such a disappointment to me. But we're gonna start off, like I said, keep in mind just my personal opinion, and we're gonna start off with my personal favorite game of the year.
Space, the final frontier. Ada, are you writing this down? Well, Ada, I would call you a useless machine, but you know me. I'm kinda kind to the machines. Well, anyways, I guess I'll just write it down later. Anyways, it is Sepp Brannigan, captain of the Unreliable. As a brave space captain and a freelancer with my brave crew, we set course to Monarch to fight the evil aliens and the pirates. Like a true space captain, I'm ready to let my life down for my crew. Ada, did you get that? Oh, come on. That was pretty good monologue. Anyways, as we set course to Monarch to slay the evil pirates and the aliens, I will become a true hero of Earth. Me, Sepp Brannigan. Well. If it isn't Trangalila. I noticed that you are quite busy, but I just couldn't help while I was flying my great ship, the Unreliable, to Monarch, to uncertain death. I just couldn't stop thinking about the future and what we could behold. Are you listening? Oh, I see you're working like a woman. Well, I'll just be off. Kiev, my dearest friend, and only friend. You say, Kiev, I was talking to Leila in the engine room, and, she would ignore me. What is her problem? Let me guess. It's that time of the month, isn't it? Well, sir, maybe she just isn't interested in you. What? What nonsense, Kiev? I'm Sepp Brannigan, captain of the Unreliable. A badass freelancer, gunslinger, pirate, and so many other things. Well, yes, sir, but maybe she just isn't interested. Shush, Kiev. Nonsense. All the women fall for Sepp Brannigan. Captain's Journal. Captain Sepp Brannigan of the Unreliable. It's another day on the Unreliable, and we set course for Monarch. ready to attack it. But something bothers me. I've yet again failed to impress Lila. How come? I'm such a dasteful pirate and freelancer and gunslinger. How come I failed? I am the Seb Brannigan. Tell me, Ada, why have I failed? Fine, stay silent, Ada. I don't need your counsel. I am Seb Brannigan.
In our number one spot, we have The Outer Worlds. I loved this game. It was such a surprise to me. Like, I knew it was from the original creators of Fallout and Blizzard, who made Fallout New Vegas, which is considered to be the best Fallout game. And that definitely made me go like, oh, maybe this is going to be good. But at the same time, I wasn't sure. Like, I wasn't sure it was going to be good. But I went in, and this game blew me away. I loved the characters, the crew members you got. They are so likable, and I love doing the quests. I love how this game doesn't really revolve that much about its story. Like, if you finish the story, you won't be able to go back into the world. So you should really like take it slow with the story. You should focus on doing side quests, because that is the meat of the game. The side quests are so good in this game, and the story is really good. I really like the story, and the main story quests are really fun. But what really just like hooks you in this game is just exploring this amazing, vast, interesting like space colony, and the character creation and like role play and all that in the game is so good. The music is fantastic in this game. I love the main title theme. It's so like just so good. You know, that title theme that plays in the menu. It just feels so like it has this like mystery spaceness to it, kind of like really good. And what really surprised me with this game is just how good it looks. Like, it's really beautiful, because you know Bethesda has kind of like tainted, like the Blizzard, when they made Fallout New Vegas, they were forced to use Bethesda's shitty engine, so Fallout New Vegas kind of looks like shit. Even though it has good missions, it just doesn't look good. It looks like really, even today, like when today, it like really looks bad. But with Outer Worlds, they got a new, Bethesda is gone. They have their own like engine, and they nailed it. It's beautiful. It does have frame rates and stuff like that, but it never really bothered me. It like just like takes a little time to load and stuff, but other than that, the game looks breathtaking. It's beautiful, and everything about it, like from like leveling up, upgrading yourself and stuff, it's just so much fun, and the game just nails everything about it. I'm gonna give Outer Worlds a 9 out of 10, and it's my favorite game of the year. Second one on our list is Resident Evil 2 Remake. This game just nails what is, it redefines what a remake is. It just nails it. I've never seen someone put this much effort in a remake. Usually it's just like, oh, we upped the graphics a little, oh, HD remake there, but it's complete garbage. But this game really just nails remake. It completely remakes the game, and a lot of people say it's not fair to put a remake on a top 10 list, or like a lists, or like winning awards, but with this one it totally is, because the game is just, there's been so much work put into this game, so much care, and so the game developers do deserve to get like recognition and praise for their work here. This isn't just a remake, it is basically just a new game. They completely took the old game and just redesigned it, and it's just so good. Again, the story is just the same and the premise, but it's just looks good, it plays well, and I wouldn't really say it was scary. I didn't really find it to be scary at all. But it was fun. Shooting zombies was fun. The only time it got like intense and scary was when the tyrant showed up, because that was just fucking terrifying. This unstoppable force that can't be killed. That was scary. But when it was just zombies, it wasn't really scary. Just shoot them in the head and walk by them. But a really good game nonetheless. I love the exploration. I loved exploring this giant police station, and picking up items like, do I need this? Should I leave it here and pick it up later? because once you pick it up and drop it, it's gone. Like you're never getting it back. So you might think like maybe I should just leave it here and come get it later. This is what I was meant when I said the year started strong, like with this one, and then it just kind of went downhill after that. But I'm gonna give Resident Evil a solid 8.5 out of 10. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. This game really surprised me. You see, I'm not a big Souls type gamer. I don't really like to play games that are like overly challenging and stuff. I've never been for that. I'm a big movie guy and I like story, so I usually just play games for narrative sake, get like a good story experience, because a lot of the time games like offer like really fantastic story experience, and often like better than movies and TV shows because they're longer. But Sekiro really surprised me, because usually these Souls games don't really have like a story. They just have like a visual telling story, and I actually really like that part about the Souls game. In Sekiro, you play as a character. You play as a shinobi called the Wolf or Okami, depending on what different like language you're playing the game on, and also Sekiro. I guess that's like your real name. And your goal is to protect your like lord. Your lord is like this immortal child, and this like family, like this estate, the Ashina state, like wants him for like immortality, and you have to get him back, and you have to go through the Ashina castle, fighting off like danger, and it is a Souls game, but with a story, and I really liked it. I loved the I loved the whole like feudal Japan thing, the theme of that, and I really liked the battle system, how it was like really like in Souls game usually just like dodge and hit. In this game you had to block and you had to think about your moves. It was like completely different and it felt fresh. And this game really blew me away with it. With a really good story, a fantastic, interesting world, beautiful graphics, great gameplay, and it was challenging. This game was hard as fuck, but it was good. It was rewarding. I don't really get that reward from the other games. I'm giving Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice a solid 8 out of 10. Devil May Cry 5. I have never played any of the Devil May Cry games, but this one was just a blast to play. It was so action-packed. It was so thrilling. The music, the fighting, the combos, everything about it was just so insane. The story is not like the story doesn't really matter that much. The game is not really that much about the story, really. It does have a good, decently written story. It's just like get up. Oh, there's this tower of demons, and get up there, and then there's like plot twists and stuff. That's basically it. You just like on this kind of like path, and the end goal is to get to the tower, and you're just kind of like walking through the city, and you get into the tower and stuff like that. And the game is just non-stop action thrills. The characters like Nero and Dante, an old classic, and what was his name again? The emo guy. His name was V. His name was V. The game also looks breathtaking. It's beautiful, and like I said, the music is just like this amazing, like thrill ride. The combos, the weapons, the upgrades, everything you get is just like it adds to the combat. The game is just absolute thrill of fun. I really liked it, and I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. This is the best Star Wars game we've had in a long time, and it's from EA even. Well, it's made by Respawn, who clearly, I would look at people like really say this game is like glitchy and buggy. For some reason, I never encountered any bugs. Like I didn't encounter any bugs. Like the game like ran smoothly for me. But apparently for many, the game was just a complete buggy, unfinished mess or something. But I really like this game. It definitely seems to have a lot of bugs, according to a lot of people. But I look at this game as kind of like a Fallout of Star Wars. Fallout New Vegas of Star Wars. Like, you can see the developers had clear passion and love for this project, but their overlords, their publishers, clearly didn't give them the time nor the budget to do this. what they really wanted to nail. So they just had to do with what they got, and what we got was pretty good. They clearly put everything they could into this, and I'm pretty sure it's due to budgeting and timing that they couldn't like polish it better. But for what we got, I'm really happy with it, because Star Wars games have just been awful these days. Like with their Battlefront games, they're just awful. They're just money grubbing garbage. This game has nothing of it. It has a really good story. I wouldn't call it like a masterful story, but it has like a good story for a Star Wars game. It has interesting characters, interesting dynamic, and the gameplay is really freaking good. Like with it mixes up like Souls game. It has like the Souls thing where it's like you have to like save it like those circles thingies, and all the enemies respawn and stuff like that. But this one has like difficulty settings, so you don't have to play it on like with Dark Souls level of difficulty. But the gameplay was awesome. I liked how you would visit worlds, and like you would constantly come back to the worlds, exploring more and finding more secrets as your force powers grew. And the planets were fantastic. I love the exploration of the game. This is like what I want out of a Star Wars game, like exploration, intergalactic travel, and all this stuff. It's just fantastic how they do this. And I'm gonna give Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order a solid 8 out of 10. It also has fantastic music. Control. I really like this game. It was a big surprise from the studio that brought us Quantum Break. The graphics are not like the best, but it's like it's doable. Like they work. They're not like awful, but they're not like the best. This game has a lot of framing issues. That's really what drags the game a little bit. It has a lot of framing issues because there's a lot happening in the screen. Like when you're in like a big boss fight, and there's lots going on. Like the game will lag a lot, and that dragged it a little bit down. But this game has a really cool story. Like the story is really cool. The world, this building you're in, is one of the most like interesting like things I've ever seen in a video game. The visual style is just excellent. Like this like Inception kind of like when it's like you're in a dream or something. Like how the building's always like shifting and changing. It's like you're in Inception. It's fucking insane. The weapons in this game are awesome. They're so fun to use. The powers, the telekinesis powers are fucking amazing. The sound design, like when you pick up rock, you hear like a little, it's just fucking good. It's so good. It sounds good. The gunplay is awesome. Even though it lags a little bit, the locations you go to are just one of the most, it's just so visually stimulating. The main character isn't like the most greatest character, but she's passable. The music is excellent in this game, and there's this one section of the game that was just like mind-blowing. It was when you go into this kind of like hallway that looks like the Shining Hotel or something, and it just starts shifting and like changing, and this song plays like Take Control, like rock song. It's insane. And it was just like one of the most visually interesting levels I've ever seen in a video game. I'm giving Control a solid 8 out of 10. Justin Roiland's Trover Saves the Universe. It was a really fun game, I can say that. It was a fun ass game. It was hilarious. It was just wacky as shit. And it gave me a reason to take out my VR headset. I really enjoyed the humor in this game. Like Justin Roiland is just everywhere in this game. Like his voice Like he voices pretty much everything, and it's just him having conversation with himself in the booth. I'm telling you, I bet none of these lines were written down. It's just him improvising in the booth. Like some of these lines are so bizarre. They just go from like, "Oh, it's Trover. Yeah, I know. What should we do? I don't know. Let's just stand here. Yeah. Hey, you know, I always kind of liked you. Oh, really? You want to go there and have sex? I guess. Whatever." Like it's that kind of level of stuff. It just goes from like the most weirdest fucking shit ever. Like in this one level, you see these two guards who are always mocking you, and they start talking really personal about each other, and it just gets really fucking weird. And I'm telling you, he did not write this down. He just improvised. It's that level of bizarreness. Then you have Trover. Trover is just a bizarre ass character. He's like an eyeball monster or something. And you are a Cheer-Orbian. You're a being that just sits in a chair. Your whole race, your alien race, just sits in a chair all the time. And when Trover, he kind of just uses like his Rick and Morty voices for this. Like when he does like Trover, it's just doing Morty. It's like, "Oh, Cheer-Orbian. I guess I have to deal with you. I mean, I like to just get my pay and stuff, but you know, whatever." And then when he's talking for like guards and stuff, and other guys, he does this like the boss, like the guy who you're working for, like the big alien guy. He uses his Rick voice. He's like, Cheer-Orbian, Trover, shut the fuck up, Trover. Cheer-Orbian, you must go to this butt planet and jump on butts. I said butt, that's funny. But this game is hilarious, and I really enjoyed playing it. It has fun stages. It's not very long. I wouldn't really call this game like a whoa, this game is excellent or anything. It's just a fun game. It's just a good game. That's all it is. So I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10. Okay, I'm cheating again with a remake. It's Atlas Catherine Full Body. This is just a remake, or just like a little graphic update and little story update. Like they added a little bit more story and character into it, and that's a little cheating. This game came out in 2011 on the PlayStation 3, and this one just has added character in. But the thing is, I have never played Catherine, so this was just like a full first experience for me. That's why I'm putting it on my list. Even though it's not a game that came out, it's just a remake of a game that came out in 2011. It's a first play for me. Alright? So Catherine Full Body, I was generally hoping it was going to be another Persona. It was going to be another like that kind of level of game. But sadly, it just wasn't. Sadly not. It was good. I enjoyed it, but it just wasn't Persona. The game is centered around like relationships and cheating, and like it's a very 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 adult themed game. It just has you have your main character Vincent, played by Troy Baker, and he's just kind of like feeling trapped in his relationship with his girlfriend Catherine, and like she wants to kind of get married and like actually take the next step. They've been like together for a long time, but he feels trapped, and it depends on how you play as Vincent. Like, are you gonna be loyal, or are you gonna be a playboy? And this like succubus or like demon woman who like takes the form of your wildest fantasy, who also is called Catherine, kind of just like starts like seducing Vincent, and he goes into this dream world where he has to do puzzles, and you have to reach the top, and only the most like purist can get to the top thingy. And in this one they have added a new character called Rin, which is this pink-haired anime girl, and there's a twist about it. I generally, when I saw the twist, I was like, what? Okay, I'm just gonna tell you the twist. Rin is a guy. Rin is a fucking trap.
Hey there, Vincent. Good morning.
Rin, are you okay?
I think I am.
But are you a guy?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that's the new route. You can be a gay in this game. You can just You can go the gay route. And I played the game two times. I went through the your Catherine, like the real Catherine ending, and then I played through the Rin ending. I didn't really care much for the Succubus Catherine ending. I just didn't really care. I never really found Succubus Catherine to be interesting. I just found her to be annoying. And I wanted to see the Rin ending because it was just so fucking weird. It's like, okay, I want to see what happens in this ending. And the game was good, but it wasn't Persona. But it was good. So I'm giving it a solid 7 out of 10. Also, it has great music. Hideo Kojima's Death Stranding. Well, you can just watch my 1 hour and a half review of this game, and I'm going into every single detail about it. But the thing is, I found the game to have ups and downs. It did so many things right, but so many things wrong. This game is visually breathtaking. It is, and it has really good characters. It has fantastic music, and it has really ambitious, unique, and it has a really good story. Even though it kind of gets pretentious at times, it does have really good it does have good dialogue, but at the same time it kind of has bad dialogue here and there. But the worst thing about this game is just the gameplay. It's boring, it's repetitive, and it just isn't rewarding at all. So the game is just kind of a chore to play. It doesn't feel like you're playing a video game. You feel like you're doing work. And that's kind of where this game fails. There's been this lot of thing on the internet that Hideo Kojima is going to make a horror game, and I would be fucking so excited if he did that, because PT was one of the best horror experience ever, and sadly that was just cancelled. And nowadays every horror game is just trying to copy PT. I really would like to see what Hideo Kojima would do if him and Guillermo del Toro would team up again and make another horror title. That'd be excellent. But with Death Stranding, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, but a really rocky 7. It is kind of it's kind of 6 out of 10. You know what? Fuck it. It is a 6 out of 10. It's an okay game. 6 out of 10 is my final wording now. Metro Exodus. I was really disappointed with this game because considering the hype. I've never played any of the Metro games, so I was really excited to get into this game, but I sadly just did not enjoy this game. I found the characters to be obnoxious and none of them likable. Your wife would just constantly be like, Arjun, we must go to this place and get some stuff. Arjun. She says your name like a kajillion times, and then you have her father character who's just like the most stereotypical Russian ever. Arjun, there is only Metro, nothing else. I like to drink the vodka. And all the other characters are also just bland and flat. I didn't care about anybody. I didn't give a shit about anything. The locations you visit are, well, they're interesting and have interesting location, but I just never really found myself that immersive in the game and interested. I was kind of just bored. The guns are fucking good in this game, like the way you customize your gun. Like visually, this game is fucking fantastic. This game is beautiful. Like graphics are so good. The water, when you wipe your mask and stuff and all that, your guns, I've never seen guns look this good in a game. It looks so fucking good. But that's all it really has for it. It has good music. It has very good graphics, and it has cool location here and there. But the story I didn't care at all. I'm gonna give Metro Exodus a 6 out of 10. It was okay. It was an okay experience. Don't hate on me for not enjoying the game. If you like it, that's great. You got something out of it, I didn't. But personally, it's a 6 out of 10 for me. It was an okay experience. Okay, from this point on, Metro to Outer Worlds, that's basically my top 10 best games of the year. The rest is just gonna be mediocre and then bad. And it's just gonna get downhill from here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This game was so bland. It is graphically impressive. Graphic wise, it's really good. And sound design is good and all that kind of stuff. But the story just is boring. It is so predictable, boring crap we've seen 1,000 times. Evil Russians, wow. Like, seriously, what is up with the evil Russians in these Modern Warfare games? We just got evil Russians killing and being monsters for no fucking reason. And then you join up with these, like, Muslim, like, rebel group. And you meet these, like, sibling characters who become, like, your companions through the game. And you build, like, kind of a bond with them. And then in this one, like, sniper mission, like, the brother character is like with you, like, you're a brother to me. It's like, wow, why don't you just write on your forehead, I'm gonna betray you now? Like, when a character says this, like, hey, main character, you are like a brother to me, it just means, like, I'm gonna betray you in this mission. And what do you know, he does. What a fucking surprise. It was so predictable, his betrayal. The game has, like, 2 interesting missions. Every time you, like, that's what they promoted the game. Like, you know those, like, when you were sneaking into the house stuff and, like, all that, like, in the dark, like, really, like, cool, like, really, like, dark and shit. That was, like, what they would promote the shit out of. Because that was the only, like, good parts of the game. Everything else is just classic Call of Duty. It's just the same shit over and over and over and over again. I was so bored out of my mind playing this game. And the online is just a fucking mess. Everybody hates the online in this game. It's just a fucking travesty. The maps are so fucking big and they reward, like, camping. You can't go 5 seconds without getting shot. And this game is just so bland. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. One of the most mediocre bleh experience I've ever had in a game. Kingdom Hearts 3 was just bad. It was just bad. Like, I don't get what the fuck they were doing here. Like, you get Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, and they have this huge fan following. But then, nothing for years, and all you get are just like spin-offs and, like, on, like, portable devices. And just so many spin-offs, but never Kingdom Hearts 3. And now finally, after all these years, Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out. The fans are so excited, and I was like, wow, okay, I better check it out, because, like, it's, like, huge hype around this game. And then I played it, and it was one of the most abysmal experience I've ever had with a video game. The story is so nonsensical. What the fuck is up with this story? Every single fucking, like, scene, everybody's just explaining everything. They're just like, oh, Sora, you forgot your memories? That sucks. Well, we're just gonna explain everything to you. So you see, Mickey and this other anime character are in this death world, and they're looking for a character called Aqua. Who's Aqua? Oh, she's just an anime waifu. Okay, so meanwhile, while they're in this death world looking for anime waifu called Aqua, we're gonna go to Disney Worlds and look for your memories. You see, your replica thingy, your twin thingy from another universe, and he shares a bond with you, and you need to find him to get your memories back, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah, and blah 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 blah. This is the game. Just people, just Disney characters and anime characters explaining what the fuck is going on, because everything is just so nonsensical. Every single fucking dialogue is just blabbering about hearts and friendship. It's the most anime-ish, like, thing I've ever seen. I feel like I'm watching fucking Fairy Tail mixed with, I feel like I'm watching, it's Kingdom Hearts 3. It's like a Fairy Tail, Naruto, and fucking Dragon Ball had a fucking retarded baby. That's what fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 is. Because everybody just, friendship, guys. We can do everything with friendship. Whoa. It's so fucking cheesy and nonsensical. You're just thrown into these Disney worlds, and it's not even, like, in a good way. You're just, like, in a map, and you have to go around, like, a certain path, and constant enemies popping at you, and you just have to fight them, and it's just so fucking boring. You're always doing the same moves. You're always fighting the same enemies. And after a while, I just said, fuck this, and I just ran. I just ran past everything. It was so boring. And after you visit every single Disney World, and all you do in them is just doing stupid fucking mission and listening to everybody blabber about hearts and friendship and My Little Pony, friendship is magic and shit. like all these like fucking fairy tale bullshit, and when it's all done and you finally get to the real story, it's just fucking the most anime-ish bullshit you can imagine. Evil guy wants to take over the world and everybody has to unite with hearts, and it's so pretentious bullshit. Oh, this game is just awful. It's so bad. I was just like, I was half asleep most of the time. The dialogue is so boring. The characters are so blah, and everything about this game was just so blah. Holy fuck. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. It's bad. It is visually beautiful and it has good music, and it technically, on technical level, it's good. So it gets but story-wise, character-wise, and everything else, and replayability and all that, it's just a complete garbage, and it gets a 4 out of 10. Bad game. Days Gone is basically the same as like Kingdom Hearts. It has a boring story, boring characters, boring missions, really wonky like graphics and glitches, and this game is just boring. That's its worst aspect. Nothing about it is interesting. You as a character are boring, side characters are boring, and it's just nothing about the game really like is memorable. It's just a boring, bad experience. I'm giving it a 4 out of 10. The Sinking City is probably the worst open world game I've ever played. It is so broken. It is so wonky. Like every 5 seconds it's just a glitch fest. Characters are just walking in circles, like they have like it was hilarious. I was like at this docking place. It's like, you know, those, you have the river or the sea, and characters were just walking into the sea and then back up and just like in circles. I recorded some of it. I will show you it. It's fucking hilarious.
Hey, I haven't written anything about you yet. 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 Hey, I haven't written anything about you yet.
What's your problem? Don't do this, sir. Eagle and Tame. He's cursed.
That's a very bad idea. 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 That's a very bad idea.
The only thing that saves this game is the unique, like the world you're in. It's kind of cool, even though it's really like wonky and broken. And it's a detective game, and this studio really knows how to make detective games. Everything about the detective stuff really is good, but the story was not really interesting, and the endings were just kind of like bad. None of them were really good. They always kind of ended like none of the endings were really good endings. They just had kind of like they were either just really evil bad endings or just like bitter bad ending. They never really reached the level of being like good. I'm giving Sinking City a 4 out of 10. It's a pretty bad game. It does have like detective stuff, but other than that, it has good detective stuff, but other than that, it's just a bad game. Alright, United in the 3 out of 10 category. We have all those shitty looter shooters from like EA and Ubisoft. We got Anthem, which is just the most laughable bullshit ever. Like, as soon as the game was announced, everybody was just saying it's a Destiny clone, because that's what it is. It's a Destiny clone. It looks like Destiny, it plays like Destiny, and it's just lazy. Nothing about it is good. It has some of the most boring, repetitive mission, and top it off, the game just died. They didn't even bother with this game. They just immediately abandoned it, and now it's dead. No one is playing it. It's a dead game. There's nothing being added into it. It's just the most laughable bullshit ever. The Division 2 is the same thing. It's also just a repetitive, boring, and just so monotonous game. And top it off, same with Anthem. It just died. No one remembers this game. No one is playing this game, and it's just garbage. And worst but not least, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I only played I didn't buy this game, I just played the beta, but I'm justified in it because the beta and the real game are the fucking same. It is so broken, this game, with glitches and just the most blandest open world I've ever seen. NPCs are so bad. The characters in this game are so bad. The dialogue, when characters are talking to you, you literally just I fell asleep because they're so boring. Nothing they're saying is interesting. They say the most generic, boring lines ever. You as a character are the most boring fucking protagonist ever. This game, like with Wildlands, it was like you and 4 members. And it didn't matter if you were playing with friends or just solo. You would have these other 3 guys with you. And in this one, you're like a lone survivor. You're like, oh, this lone guy, and you were betrayed by a friend, and you have to take him down. But you can play with friends, kind of taking away the whole survival, like a lone survival thing. You're like with your friends, but in cutscene you're alone, and it's like stupid. And this game is so glitch filled. Like I saw cars were just flipping over on them by themselves. It was just monotonous. And my brother, who usually gives this game like a pass, he's usually like, it wasn't good, but you know, it was okay. But with this one, he hated it. He thought it was one of the worst experiences he ever had with a game, and usually that's not often. And this game was just fucking bad. All of these shitty looter shooters, I'm giving them a 3 out of 10. The Dark Picture Anthology, Man of Medan. This game was fucking shit. The story is laughable. The scares are laughable. The controls are stiff as always with these like walking like choice simulators, and the characters are just such cliches. This is from the people who made Until Dawn, but Until Dawn had like an excuse for being like cliche and silly because it's a spoof. Until Dawn is spoofing the 80s and the 90s horror cliches and genres. Man of Medan is not. Man of Medan is just a boring cliche horror game. It doesn't have the charm of being like an 80s or 90s like horror movie set in a forest or a cabin where supernatural stuff or slasher is. It doesn't have that charm like Until Dawn did. And the game is so fucking short. I bought it. It cost 50 euros. You know, I bought the game and I played it and it took me 4 hours to beat it. I wasted 50 euros on a fucking 4-hour game. And it has zero replayability because this game is just the same thing. You start on the boat and then you go into this ghost ship and it just looks the same. Every single hallway, every single turn you take, it always just looks the same. The visual style in this game is so boring and there's just no reason to play it again. Like, why would I go back into this game and play it again? It's just, you're just looking at the same background and same visuals again and again, and it's so boring. Every time a character died, I just didn't give a shit. Actually, in my playthrough, only one character died. It was Conrad, and he just died because I accidentally tapped the wrong button. Other than that, all characters that lived. Like, the thing is, dying in this game is not... Dying in this game, like losing a character, is kind of difficult, or at least for me. Like, I found keeping the characters alive pretty easy. And I just didn't even care to keep them alive because I didn't care about anybody. So when they died, when Conrad died, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And the game has this, like, you're on this ghost ship and it's like, oh, spooky ghost and demons and monsters, but turns out it's just hallucinate gas. And soon as you realize it's hallucinate gas, which is the most predictable shit ever, because the prologue, the opening by the prologue was the most laughable shit I have ever seen in a game. I was so, like, I turned on the game, I was playing it with a friend, and we were just laughing how fucking awful the opening was. Man of Medan gets a 2 out of 10. It is god awful. And now the worst game of the year, in my opinion at least. It was Jump Force. This game was awful. It was terrible. Holy fuck. Like, it's so bad. It's a fucking, like, a fighting game with an anime theme, or like shonen characters from shonen animes. And me and my brothers, he likes Naruto. I'm actually more for the anime stuff than him, but he actually really likes Naruto. But I was like, hey, let's play this. This could be fun. And this game is so fucking bad. Visually, it's ugly. It looks so ugly. Like, the character models are so stiff looking and their faces are always just the same. Their eyes are so stiff and everything is just so stiff. It tries to go for this more like live action realistic look, but it just looks so bad. This game plays badly. Like, the music in this game is awful. Like, the lobby music, when you're in the lobby, it sounds like an 80s porno music. There's nothing to do in the lobby. You just go and have fights. That's it. This game is so empty on everything. The story mode is the most laughable garbage I've ever seen. You literally go to Naruto world, One Piece world, and Dragon Ball world, and you just have fights with the characters from those stories. It's so bad and laughable. There's just nothing to the story. The character creation is so bland, and there's nothing to do in the lobby, just nothing. And fights with players is so bad. Like, here's the thing, in like games like Mortal Kombat, like it depends on how good you are at button mashing, like, you know, combos and stuff. This game has nothing of those things. This game just depends on what characters you pick. If you pick OP characters, you're OP as fuck. Like, sometimes my brother would be wiping the floors with me because he picked OP characters, and sometimes I'd be wiping the floors with him. It didn't matter if we were good at the game. If we just had OP characters, we would just automatically win. That's where a fighting game completely fails. This game fails in everything. It fails in story, it fails in graphics, it fails in music, it fails on technical level. It fails on being a fighting game. It fails on everything. This game is awful. Jump Force gets a 1 out of 10. It's the worst piece of shit game of the year, in my opinion. There's probably a game that is worse than it, but to me, for what I played, it is the worst. Thank you for watching my games of the year, best and the worst games of the year. I said in my the joke top 20 movies of the year joke video, I said that I was going to do the movies and the games at the end of like January or early February. But the thing is, I've already played all the games, so I just figured I'll just record the game video now. And the movies ones, I still have some movies to watch. I have a list of movies I have to watch before, so I have to wait with that. So the movies will be coming like either late January or early February, but this is just coming now. Anyways, guys, Happy New Year's and Happy New Decade. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Leave a nice comment on what your favorite games were or what you thought were the worst games and yada yada yada. And I'll see you guys in the movies and TV shows of the year. Bye, guys.